Hi guys, Bolt here once again, more Wargame Red Dragon. Gunboat Diplomacy. But we are definitely not going to do any diplomacy today, we're going to wreck face. I don't know where that came from. But anyways, now there's a plan already before we even begin. The plan is for Oshlibia, for Oshlibia to basically defend Hotel in the beginning, and then do a push as soon as he gets his Buratinos. And I am tasked with basically defending Echo until he does that, so I can help him by redirecting my troops straight into Hotel. So we're starting off with two Mi-24Ps, and these are the AA variants. We have a bunch of helicopters with Commandozi that will go right side, and we also have some FJBs and LSTRs and stuff that we will be spawning in. Meanwhile on the left we have Diesel, who will set up a defensive position here and then help us out in the middle as well. So let's see how this goes. Now we immediately spot a crap load of helicopters. It kind of makes me realize that we should have bought more. Now we do take out the Ninja, luckily, and the Celtic, and that should enable us to unload some of these helicopters. Now with the Mi-24Ds we take out one of the helis, which was very fortunate, and the Nuwa wrecks one of the Chinooks and prevents it from unloading its units. Now as you can see, that is a lot of units. So Oshlibia immediately comes to my aid with his two T-72s, BMPTs, to try to destroy these units. I also call in a bomber, a MiG-25 RFB, to drop bombs right on top of these guys. Now, although we lose that plane, we do destroy a lot of the enemy's units. Now in general, you can definitely see that the enemy did not plan to defend. They are going ham on Elena. Now my Commandozi are kind of destroyed by the mortars and the amount of fire support that these guys had. So I move up a kind of a relatively fresh squad up and call in some more units in the back as well. Now one thing that I dislike about the route that units take is, well, the route that units take on this map. If I were to spawn something here, your units will go over this road here, really close to the enemy's position. So what you have to do is instead spawn them and put them down either here or like here. That way they will go here and take a right, away from the enemy. Now we are holding, but we are holding just barely. More infantry is being called in together with some actual anti-air. But seeing these Hachikashikis does kind of worry me. Because it means that there is now 2 people focusing on this side. Now on the left side, usually not much happens. So Anna is usually a sector where you defend. And Diesel definitely does a good job of it. So he has a bunch of ZSUs here with a 57mm, 2 of these, covering the flanks. He has some manpads, more manpads there, some recon units, and some autocannon vehicles, and also a recon tank and ATGM vehicles. And that is all you need. So as you can see, there's a fresh push going on here by the enemy. So as soon as I called in for help, Oshi and Diesel immediately call in some units to try to defend this far right flank. Really nice smoke positioning here by Oshi, because now he can just freely move his units to the right side. That's exactly what I was waiting for with the supply truck. Hachikashikis are spotted, but thanks to these T-72s, we should be able to stop these guys, no problem. And for only 90 points, you get 18 AP. 22 AP with the AT gems. It's really good. The stabilizer isn't the best. Now 2 of these guys together with an Mi-24 VP should have no problem taking out these guys. Now we have Haymaker and Holy pushing right side. Lots of airplanes being used this game. We have our MiG-29 coming in, taking out that aircraft. But the F-15 there basically scares us off and makes us retreat. Colas being spawned in to get our units resupplied. And you guys know how much I like supplying my units, instead of just sacrificing them. Now the T-72s here definitely saved the day. Giving me a lot of really nice fire support. Now at this point we have 1 Buratino. We're still waiting for a few more units so that we can push over into Cheriton. We have Oshi's 2nd Buratino being spawned in. And we're basically getting ready for this push. The enemy used a lot of resources to try to take over Elena, but simply was not able to. T-72 still going ham on the Tansam short arrow here. And gets shot right in the dumpster truck. Now seeing these T-72s move up, basically it's a cue for me to help these guys out with my infantry. Kurdas comes in with its electro-optical bombs. Luckily does not manage to kill the T-72s, but they are panicked. Raven comes in and gets clapped by the HQ-7s. I actually missed this while playing the game. And the F1. My god. 60% accuracy. Literally hits all 4 shots. That is amazing. That is quite impressive. Now right now, because I'm seeing a lot of units being moved up here, I do decide to get some recon units and some more commandosi to the flank. We also buy a recon helicopter to secure that mountain region. Nothing has been tried on the left side. And it is good to see that Diesel knows that he does not really need to spend many points there. So he has been really helping with a lot of support. support units. For example, these HQ7s. He's got the command. He's got a bunch of helicopters in the back together with some recon tanks. And he's helping out in Chaosmourne. B5 comes in. That's gonna not be a good day for these guys. Yep. There goes that. F15 comes in. Well, they both kind of missed their shots. So it was kind of lucky. Now at this point, Chaosmourne is very lightly defended. But it is the fear of the unknown. If the enemy obviously knew this, they would just charge up. But they don't know. This could be filled with units, and these could be filled with units as well. So they just play it defensive as well. And not to mention, they push a lot of units into Elena. Now Diesel, since he is playing more defensive, and he probably has the most points, he is focusing on the commands, and he will take over Elena, which will put us at +2. Unless the enemy decides to neutralize it. So at this point, Oshi lets me know that he will be pushing Chaosmourne very soon. So what I do is get a bunch of BM27s, which are cluster, to try to help him out by, for example, clustering here, and the forests in the back. Now the first Buratino strike right on top of this building probably wrecked quite a lot of units, and that enables Oshi to push up with his forces. Second Buratino moves in, and my job right now is to set up some support units. So we have Nuas on the front line, we have some infantry just covering the flanks, and as soon as he makes his push, our cluster will start raining down on the enemy as well. Second Buratino on the main industrial complex here. I'm sorry, buddy. Not today. Now, I don't know which unit actually spotted this. I think it was the MI2. But then again, those... I think it's Specialny Jonotki, because that is just way too far. So I decided to cluster it. And literally all of these miss, because he is right here. Exactly where this guy was. We hit him once. But we have more artillery on the way, and this big shell will blow it up, no problem. Now with that Buratino strike, Oshi has moved over the river very nicely. He has a lot of Motostrelekis up on the front line. He has some BMPTs and T80s in the back, which have 4 HE, so really good fire support. And overall, a really good push by Oshi. Now 2 Rafales are spawned in. Definitely not something you want to deal with. Luckily, they miss all of their shots. Now I am really stretched thin on the right side, and let's be honest, this deck is not the best to play on this flank. It's really open, so something more mechanized or something with good tanks would have been better. I only have Dyna 2s, which are basically ATGM vehicles. So we set up a good defensive position, and instead we focus on the middle. But Australikies are just getting wrecked by the enemy mortars. We do artillery, or already the position where we think the enemy command is. Since it is decapped, because we do have a command in this sector. With that last strike. Did we get it with that one? I don't see the command. It could have been an infantry command, perhaps. So right now we are +1. We have a command going for Helena. Just to have another one in there. We have infantry moving up over the bridge here. We have LSTRs coming up to try to help. And we have more units being spawned in next. BM-27s open up on the enemy mortars. And also on this little forest here, where usually there's a lot of enemy units like AA guns, tanks, that kind of stuff. Now most of these miss, but luckily he moves right into my cluster strikes. And we managed to take out 2 of them. As you can see, the enemy did have AA in there. We just missed most of them. In general, very nice push by Oshi, and really well supported by Diesel. And of course yours truly is coming in third here with more FJBs, more Commandozis, to get some more special forces into this area. Now with that, we have Chaosmourne fully under our control. Buratino is being used to basically cut off the enemy's supply lines here. And speaking of cutting off enemy supply lines, the BM-27s that I have, in just a moment will be used to basically cluster this region here to see if they have anything defending this region, such as AA guns, such as mortars, recon units, that kind of stuff. OT-64 is moving through the fire and flames and unloading right behind the enemy lines. And this was kind of just a gamble that I took, and it paid off. Just a massive, massive firefight. BM-21s or 27s are ready to go here. Man, that is nasty. That just looks disgusting. That was really painful. Now one thing that Oshi also did really well was, as soon as he noticed that basically in terms of infantry we're good, he calls in armor. And what I see a lot of times is people make the mistake of just sticking with the same unit when pushing, instead of using combined arms, and they just lose the fight big time. By far my favorite unit right here. One thing I don't get is how these VDVs are missing every shot. There we go. Now with this, the enemy does decide to make a last daring attack on this right side, and this is more of a desperate push than a tactical one, because their entire resupply point is cut off. Man, the amount of firepower we have is just incredible. Just the coordination of the team, the mix of units that we're using. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Oh no. The big artillery. And here's some more cluster. Normally I'm not a fan of cluster units, but these BM-27s are definitely doing a good job. Now 45 Commandosi in the back of the enemy's lines. That is not going to have any problem taking these guys out. And that was game. So once again, a really intense match. 2,480 kills. I have no idea how we managed this. I think those cluster strikes definitely did it. Diesel doing a hell of a job, and Oshi just pushing insanely well. So let's go through the kill list, because this is actually something I'm interested in. Commandosi just in general really good units. BM-27 with the Tensam, the Rolands, the Hachikai Shikis, some transports. Yeah, we definitely did a lot of damage here. Some mortars, the Vulcan vehicles, I believe. We killed a helicopter or an airplane. We killed some AA. Oh yeah, we definitely got a lot of heavy or pricey units like the Mirage and the K30, that kind of stuff. Most of our losses, it seems like a little bit of everything. It was mainly, most of our losses were because of that initial push on the right side. That really got us. But that was a ton of fun. I really enjoy playing as this deck, Eastern Bloc. It's definitely one of my favorites. If you guys did enjoy it though, please do let me know down in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe for more Wargame Red Dragon. And once again, a big shout out to all the patrons of the channel. If you are still watching, please do check out the Patreon page and consider subscribing for a cup of coffee a month. Take care, guys.